I wanted to do a weird dream video, but also this is probably have a second part in it where I start ranting about other things. ADHD brain, you know. Uh, so I don't really do Hinduism, but I got recommended this mantra before I went to bed, and I'm trying not to do the meditation shit anymore because what's the point? I just keep remembering horrible, horrible shit. Okay. I mean, I do sometimes remember some funny shit I did when I was president, which is totally fucking kind of worth it. Um, I'm not gonna mention any of them here, though. Uh, it was totally fucking worth it. It's really fucking, well, maybe not worth it. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. It's funny. It's the good things you hold on to. Last night I had a dream. I met the Kali Maa, which is the Hindu goddess, like mother goddess of like destruction and destroying the ego in time. And she's another fierce deity, similar to that Vajrapani guy they made me. I just, side note, Vajrapani is the funniest like deity on the planet they could have given me, because every problem Blondie had with me is literally a psychological side effect of being Vajrapani, from being self-righteous to having the power of obscuration, the ability to see through bullshit, to even radical courage, which is what I had, right up until they poisoned me with heavy metals. But Kali Ma, I was listening to her mantra and I had a dream. I don't know much about this goddess Kali Ma. I know the Agarai, which are cannibals, worship her in India, but I only know that from watching a video with one of those YouTubers that travel a lot. I think it was like Drew Binksy or something. But when she appeared to me in my dream, I was walking down a poorly lit, moonlit road, and she appeared. And if you know anything about me, when I have dreams, I always have my action sack, which is just our magic sack, which is just a bag of stuff I pull weapons out of and shoot or stab or whatever. I'll lucid dream. I can interfere in my own dreams. So I turn around and there's this uh, carbon black woman with glowing red eyes and her tongue out, walking toward me with like glowing footprints. Like her footprints were like glowing as she was walking toward me, and I'm like, "You're not supposed to be here. This is Bob Land. Nobody comes to Bob Land." Like, whatever, tough guy shit. And I go to grab my action bag, which either it doesn't matter where it is. If it's like on my back, this is a dream. If it's like a sword, I'll just reach on my back and I'll pull out a sword. If it's like a gun, I can just pull it off of my hip. It's a dream. And she walked toward me. I went to pull the gun, and then she put her hand out and stopped me, and then pushed my head down, and I fell into a kneeling pose. And she reached into my head and pulled out a baby. Okay. Oh, trust me, it's about to get weirder. She pulled the baby out and then just slowly and deliberately bit the top of the baby's head while it was screaming and crying, and then proceeded to eat the baby like one piece at a time. All right. Until it was completely gone. And I just, normally in my dreams, me being Action Bob, I pull my guns out and start shooting and whatever. I didn't do that for some reason. I couldn't stop staring at her eyes, even though I was watching her physically eat a baby that came out of my head. Yeah. Holy shit, man. So, yeah, she did that thing. And then she said, "Bobby, you're a human trafficker. You're a cannibal. You're this other thing that I'm not gonna say on this video, but she's not wrong, through the legal terms. You're a killer. You're a monster. But I have no doubt that you were a good man. And then she turned and walked away. I good old Jungian psychology. Once again, apparently dreams are messages speaking to you from across time and reality. And according to AI, which I guess I'm using as my official dream analysiser, which is probably going to be banned in years from now, but my dream analysiser, dreaming of a Hindu goddess Kali Maa can be a profound spiritual experience as it is considered very rare. The specific image of her taking and consuming a baby from within you is a symbol of destruction of your ego, or the removal of the negative attachment habits, or facilitates a spiritual transfer to facilitate a spiritual transformation into new beginnings. Here are some potential interpretations of your dream. Destruction of the ego, inner demons. Kali is widely known as the goddess of death, time, and change, and the destroyer of demons. The dream may be powerful, albeit fierce, message that she is helping to eliminate deeply ingrained negative aspects, insecurities, or your ego that are hindering your spiritual growth. Spiritual transformation and new beginnings. A baby often symbolizes new life, new projections, and potential. Kali, consuming it from within you, represents the removal of obstacles that are blocking a new, more righteous or spiritual path from emerging in your life. This can be seen as a form of divine assistance and protection. Facing challenges and in finding inner strength, the intense nature of the dream could be a warning of impending significant challenges, or that you are currently experiencing a turbulent time, sometimes associated with certain astrological periods. Like, we're not even getting into the Indian zodiac there, okay, brother. We're not going down that rabbit hole. However, seeing the goddess Kali in a dream is also a sign that you have the strength and divine support to overcome these trials. A call to spiritual paths, such as vivid dream, might be a sign the goddess is calling you to deeper spiritual practice or closer relationships with her. It is often said that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Protection from negative influence. The dream can also signify that Kali is acting as your protector, fighting against external negative forces or internal bad thoughts on your behalf. I talk a lot of stuff on my page that's crazy enough as it is, and I don't really do spiritual side of shit. To give you an idea, one time in Georgia, I had this crazy dream that Markiplier, who is not actually a really good person, was trying to murder me. He was wearing black robes, and I got scared, so I pulled out my action sack and blew his legs off. Okay. He was like flying around like a ghost. It was funny as shit. Yeah. I will say my scariest dream I ever had was this dream where I was in sleep paralysis. I couldn't wake up, and I was trying to wake up, and there were these girls with no faces in like my trailer, and the floor and shit was all broken up like a Mario level, but it was like 3D, and it was just like shit. I was like getting sucked through voids and tossed around, and it was like crazy, and there were all these crazy looking freaky dudes there, and those three little girls were like laughing and running around and explaining to me that they've been enslaved, and they would whisper shit like help us, but then you'd also hear them rage and scream and like try to hurt you, and then they would act injured only for them to attack you. It was like real chaotic and crazy. That was terrifying. That was so scary, I actually didn't sleep for 2 days after that. I refused to go to bed. I was so scared of them. I was drinking fucking coffee and I was all like, it was like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead and the whole I am Cornholio. Like, I was like, no, sleeping again, no. That was probably the worst dream I ever had, dude. Well, well, there was that other one when I was on Zithromax, where I dreamed I dried out like a fucking mummy and I was falling through a hell portal, and that guy from Lord of the Rings, except he's like a minotaur, that ball rag guy, grabbed me and he tried to fucking like eat my ass, and I decked him in the eye, and then he threw my ass, and then I fell through a portal and it just kept going over and over. I'd fall down that platform, I'd start running for the edge, and that big flaming demon dude would try to grab my ass, and I was like, man, fuck off, brother, and I'd beat his ass, like, or I'd scream and run crying, like, whatever, man. That's just how it be in my dreams. So I'm no stranger to having vivid, weird dreams. It's only been recently I've been able to dream again, though. Like, I mean, like, within, like, the past 6 or 7 months, I've started having dreams again. Not having dreams is a sign of brain damage, actually. And that's some shit. But, there were other things I wanted to talk about. One of the things I remembered recently, once again, just mantra shit, is another time Blondie fucking hypnotized me. Ornately, when I was a kid, I used to be really good at picking up on new skills. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. I couldn't really do it with music. I couldn't do it with reading or writing or, like, math. But, like, I remember somebody was showing me this kind of skill. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I learned it. Very quickly just from observing. And my dad's family's like that. That's just a gift of theirs. I had the unique ability to instantly integrate a skill into my personality. That I don't know what you would call that. But if somebody was like, stop talking like this and then talk like this, I could growing up, very quickly integrate that into my personality. I could suddenly just have that as a part of the way I think. I used to not curse when I was in elementary school, believe it or not. All the way into middle school and high school, actually. I actually didn't curse. It's only cursing was only something I started doing after all the shit that happened to me. So yeah. But Blondie, I mentioned it to Blondie, and he's such an insecure, jealous little bitch, and he is an insecure, jealous little bitch. He took me out back behind Papa John's and hypnotized me to lose that ability, to automatically adjust my personality accordingly to the way I needed it to be, when I needed it to be that way. If I needed to be brave, I could just turn it into that, and then I'd be brave. He, using his bullshit hypnosis, fucking did that. I also mentioned that I was supposed to have perfect vision forever or some shit because I had this dream when I was a kid of meeting a goddess, and then he sprayed me in the eyes with the tetraled because tetraled can give you eyeball cancer because he's insecure and jealous. A goddess chose me and not his loser ass, and they told him when he was a kid, they lied to him, told him he was special when he wasn't. And if anybody else is special, that means he's not special. That means his LSD trips are for no reason. I just want to state to any of you dumb fuckers at the church that are watching these videos, I have these dreams and spiritual experiences without LSD. So if you want to talk about who's superior, I can do it without the drugs, loser. But it's in your nature to be a loser. That's why you have to cheat at everything. It's in your blood. You just can't deal with it. That's why you have a facade and you're nothing but ego. It's a fact. It's not me being a dick. Yeah. I recently remembered that, and I think I should feel a lot of rage and hatred over something, once again, ornately mine, being stolen from me, from a bastard who was lied to when he was a kid. But I also remember this stupid shit, him and Stu being buddy-buddy, and acting like they were going to shoot me in the head when I was at work because Stu told Blondie I could take a bullet to the head, and Blondie started to, because if you can do something these people can't do. they can't live in that reality because they were lied to when they were kids and told that they were superior. And if they meet somebody who is superior, they can't let that be. It drives them insane. Okay. One, it's evidence that they were lied to when they were kids. Blondie lives in his own objective reality, and if you fuck with it, if you break it, he lashes out violently, just like Stu, because it's all facade, it's all fake, it's all lies, it's all mask wearers. It's all the definition of a weak person that can't live in reality. In the concluding note, one of the things I recently found out from watching a Minecraft playthrough, there's a kid playing Minecraft, and he was playing through as a communist. In communism, you have to get rid of the bourgeoisie and churches. There's a word for churches, but you have to get rid of them because they create a divide amongst the people, and churches naturally create a hierarchy of power within them. Starting with, you have the churchgoers, and then you have the clergymen, and then you have whoever's on top of the clergymen. They create a stacking order. They create a caste system within that church. That is why they all have to be destroyed in communism, because when that caste system comes up against the communist government, they immediately try to take it over. And I'm not just talking about Christians in this video, believe it or not, because China had the same problem with Buddhists. Buddhists tried to overthrow the Chinese government, and it didn't work. So China overreacted to them and slaughtered them, which is why the Dalai Lama runs from the Chinese Republic to this day, because they made the mistake of trying to topple a sovereign nation with their religious bullshit. But that's not the first time Buddhism had tried to do that. Buddhism in Japan tried to topple the Japanese government, the shogunate, and they turned a bunch of them against one another, and they tried to take it over, and then Japan lashed out violently and began killing Buddhists. This is why Japan had extreme laws against religion right up until World War II, where they were forced to integrate the separation of church and state. And since then, they've had nothing but cult attacks again and again and again. This is why religion needs to go away forever. Okay, spirituality doesn't need to go away. Religion needs to go away forever. So Japan ran the Buddhists off. Rome notoriously, the original Roman empires and their multi-gods and all that shit. Fucking with Caesar. Caesar's supposed to be like the greatest Christian ever. Wrong. That's why he was stabbed to death. He took over one of the most powerful empires on the planet and weakened it, crippled it, and then destroyed it with his ridiculous, stupid religion. And that is what happens every time a Christo-fascist takes over. It destroys the entire country. It gets everybody killed, and the entire time the guy in charge just screams, "It's good for you, it's good for you, it's good for you," while he takes all the money and hoards it for himself. And you know that you don't need to look any further than this church. The rich people in it have all the money, and all the losers, all the foot soldiers that keep telling you suffering's good for you, they are defending the wealthy people who have never had a bad day in their lives. They've never had a bad day in their lives. Or if they have had a bad day, they had exactly one bad day. Thank you.